So probate is different in every situation, and families run into different problems, but there are 5 problems that seem to come up over and over again for families going through estate administration and probate for a deceased person's estate. So the first one I see is doing nothing. From dread of the process or apathy or just generally thinking nothing needs to happen, doing nothing frequently leads to very, very costly problems down the road when you find out you really should have done something and you didn't. So the second problem I see over and over again is losing the original documents. If you don't have an original will to take to the probate court, a lot of times there are other things that can be done, but it is always going to be more expensive and more time consuming for the family. So keeping track of original documents is a #1 priority. The third problem I see most frequently is when people have attempted to fill out forms for the probate court on their own and completed them incorrectly. There's legal terms that have very specific legal meaning in those forms, and even though they seem like do-it-yourself fill-in-the-blank forms, they really aren't. And if you complete them incorrectly or have the wrong people sign those forms, you're going to end up having to do them over. They'll be rejected by the probate court, and it can be very frustrating. The fourth problem that I see repeatedly is using the wrong process entirely. If there's a will, there's one process. If there's not a will, there's several different processes you could go through. And assuming that every case falls into the same pattern and uses the same form is a mistake that people will make that is costly and can require them to have to do probate forms over and over again. The fifth thing that I see people do that is a terrible mistake for anyone to make is distributing assets under an administration or a probate too soon. Families are always anxious to get the division of the property. That's really what people are expecting to happen when somebody's passed away, but there's a very specific timeline in Georgia law that requires you to make sure all the creditors and taxes are paid first before any distributions are made, and a personal representative of an estate can incur personal liability if they act too soon. So I always recommend that you follow the guidelines of Georgia law. Only make the distributions when it's legally permissible to make distributions. If you'd like help with any of these things I've listed, please feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to schedule a consultation with you to talk about any of the issues that you might have related to an estate.